Hi, Kevin Coop here. This is FaceTime with a content guy. So I have a great idea for a business. In fact, this is such a great idea for a business. I may give up morning news beat and do this, okay? Because I think this has got legs. It's an enormously powerful and profit generating idea. So here it is. We're going to call it Front End Systems Global. I like that. Global Front End Systems Global Inc. Okay? And here's the idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a company that basically specializes in hiring front-end people for retail stores. So I'm going to hire all the people who would work in any given retail store. I'm going to pay their wages. I'm going to pay them whatever little health care I can get away with paying them, whatever benefits they have to absolutely get. And I'm going to be in charge of scheduling. And I'm going to be in charge of scheduling based on my communications with my clients, which are going to be retail stores. And this really makes sense when I go into a market. Let's say I can get 3, 4, 5, 6 different retailers to outsource their front end needs to me. How great is this? So they no longer have to worry about those people. They're not on their books. They can take that right off their books. They pay me a fee, tell me what they need, and my responsibility is to provide those people to their front end. Now, where this really makes sense for me is that I can move people around. So I can go in a market, and let's suppose I'm working with Kroger, and I'm working with Albertsons, and I'm working with, pick another one, Whole Foods. Okay, let's suppose those three. I can move those people around. I can say, oh, well, the person is working in Whole Foods on a Monday because that's when they need them, but they can also work in Kroger on Wednesday, and they can work at Albertsons on Friday. That makes a lot of sense. And these guys are able to take a lot of the dollars off their books. They can reduce their operating costs, and it's all my responsibility. And I think this makes an awful lot of sense. It makes so much sense that I'm absolutely convinced. I do it for a couple of years. I'm in enough markets. I can generate enough business. I can sell this thing. I'm going to sell this thing for a couple of $1 billion to somebody who's going to come in and say, ooh, look at that. He's controlling all the front end services in all these markets. How great is this? Of course, there's only one real problem with that, right? Which is that if I do that, and let's say I'm doing it with Safeway, Albertsons, and Whole Foods in a particular market, I am basically level the playing field in terms of what they're able to do at the front end, right? Those people aren't representative of them. They're representative of me. And so there's no differential advantage at the front end, which is where, by the way, people are actually talking to customers and customers are talking to them. There's no differential advantage between any retailers that are working for them in a market, right? So it doesn't make sense. But here's the deal. Isn't that exactly what companies are doing when they're outsourcing Instacart? Right? It's not at the front end of a store, but it is at people's front porches or in their driveways or at their back door or wherever it happens to be. They're outsourcing this incredibly important part of the customer experience to a company that only has its own best interest at heart. Because its goal is to get enough customers and enough volume that it can sell the company to somebody else. Now listen, here's the deal. Somebody's listening to this who said, ooh, this is a good idea. Wonder if I can do this before Kevin does it. And there are some retailers out there who said, oh, this is a really good idea. I'd love to do this. I can't wait for Kevin to be in business, or wonder if somebody else is already doing it. But any retailer who has any commitment to creating a differential advantage for their company and their store is listening to what I'm saying and saying to themselves, I'd never do that. Why would I do that? And that's a very, very good question. And it's a question I wish more people would think about when they outsource stuff like the customer service part of the experience, of the delivery experience, to companies like Instacart. Yes, it is more complicated. It is more expensive. It is more involved to do it yourself. But all you have at risk here is your brand identity, your brand equity, and maybe even the long-term existence of your company. So maybe it's worth spending the money, taking the time, making the investment. I'm not just talking about a financial investment. I'm actually talking about the spiritual and gut investment you have to make to really own that part of the business. Then again, maybe I'll just say, the hell with it, and I'm going to go off and start this front-end company. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.